Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi friends, how are you? I hope everything is fine. My name is Hilda Faliha. In this video, I want to present to you the explanation about method in language teaching. In this pandemic era, I hope you always stay healthy. If you want to go to some place, don't forget to always keep your social distancing, wear your mask, and bring hand sanitizer. Well, I will describe 6 methods in language teaching. There are natural approach, audiolingual method, total physical response, the silent way, community language learning, and the last is communicative language teaching. So for the first, I will explain about natural approach. It's time to go! What is natural approach? Natural approach is the parent of several methods, such as audiolingual method, direct method, and communicative language teaching. Why? Because audiolingual method, direct method, and communicative language teaching focus on using the target language as main language in language teaching. It means that during the teaching process, teacher and students don't use their mother tongue at all. Because the principle of natural approach is natural habituation and compulsion. The school that usually apply this method is an international school where their teacher is a native from American, from England, or something like that. And depends on the objective of natural approach, namely to improve the ability to communicate in target language in various skills, like reading, writing, listening, speaking, or at least we will understand if someone speaks in target language, because it is believed they can, because they are used to as much as possible. Okay, next to our lesson, the second method is audiolingual method. Audiolingual method is a classic method. This method has been found for a long time, but until now it is still believed that audiolingual method is an effective method in language teaching. This method was developed by Charles Price. Then Charles set out 4 ways or principle of teaching in this method. Audiolingual method focuses on drilling and repetition. There are several patterns that must be considered in this drilling and repetition. And what are the patterns? First is repetition. What kind of repetition? You repeat the teacher say. For example, the teacher say, I read a book. Then the student reply, I read a book. Students are repeating the teacher. Okay, repeat after me, students. I read a book. And then the student follow and repeat, I read a book. Okay, friend, that's we called repetition. And the second pattern is inflection. How we do inflection? The teacher says word or a sentence, and then the students says another form of one word back to the teacher. For example, the teacher want to say, I go to school, and the student reply, I went to school. Go and went. But you have to know that before you do this technique, you must have thought about simple past tense. You give a formulation of simple past tense, and then you practice with your student by this method. Yeah. Okay. So students, I want to say something in simple present tense, and then I want to you to change the word become the simple past tense. I go to school. I went to school. I sleep on the bed. I slept on the bed, for example. Okay, it's inflection. Next, the third pattern is restatement. Restatement is almost similar to repetition. The teacher says a sentence and the student rephrase the sentence. So, just rephrasing or restating. For example, the teacher say like this, tell me to walk to school, and then the student repeat, walk to school. So it's just also just refreshing in restatement. Then I will explain about the purpose of audiolingual method. In accordance with audiolingual method own characteristic, so it is clear that this audiolingual method focuses on language as main language of communication. So that grammar lessons are inductive or learn later, which means we don't do grammar or formulation first, but applying grammar in communicating. For example, you don't teach them about the pattern of simple present tense. For example, simple present tense is a verb tense which is use the habit or generalization or blah blah blah, and the formulation is subject or blah blah blah. No, you don't teach with the audiolingual method in this way. We include grammar in communication. For example, I play tennis. She plays tennis. He plays tennis. Yeah. So we explain grammar with a substance that is in the form of direct language or sentence, not a synthetic formulation. So it implies that I use play if she or he use plays. Yeah. This method doesn't use translation or doesn't use mother tongue at all. So the audiolingual method is usually applied in course, where usually the goal is to establish skills for communication. So teachers it in the full English way. And audiolingual method also focuses on drilling and repetition. The purpose of drilling here is repetition. So for example, the teacher provides a stimulus and the students repeat according to what the teacher asks. This audiolingual method believes that behavioristic theory means that habituation is done over and over again will produce new habits. Which means that if we use English as much as possible in our daily life, at first we could not speak English because we use it every day. No matter what grammar, because we are used to. It will work. Okay, and the next method is total physical response. What is total physical response? Total physical response, or TPR, is a language learning method that is structured on the coordination of commands, speech, and motion, and strive to teach language through physical activity. This total physical response method is very easy and light in terms of language use and also contains element of game movement. So, it can relieve stress on students because of the problem faced in their lessons, especially when learning foreign language. And can also create a positive mood in students, which can facilitate learning so as to increase students' motivation and achievement in these lessons. The meaning of the target language, for example, a teacher want to enriching vocabulary, standing up, for example. The teacher takes the example of stand up first, then the teacher can ask them to stand up. Stand up, sit down, open your eyes, close your eyes, that is total physical response. Student respond to instruction from the teacher. Next is the silent way. The silent way found by Mr. Caleb Queteño. Caleb Queteño considers that effective language teaching is to make students more independent and not dependent on teacher. At that time, Mr. Caleb Queteño used stick, colorful sticks, and now we can use colorful ice cream stick like this. Colorful the stick ice cream. I will give an example. Suppose we want to teach number. We introduce 1 until 5 for beginners. We have to focus on the quality. There are 5 color. For example, number 1 is red. Number 2 is pink. Number 3 is purple. Number 4 is yellow. And number 5 is green. Okay, when you show them the red stick, it means they have to know that it's 1. If you show them the pink sticks, it means they have to know that it is 2. Okay, previously we had to tell this color, yeah, like red is 1, pink is 2, purple is 3, and then yellow is 4, and green is 5, yeah. And in practice you show them the red stick and then they mean 1. Okay, and then you show them the pink and then they mean is 2. Okay, that is the activity of the silent way. The next method is community language learning. What is community language learning? Community language learning, or CLL, is a language teaching approach in which students work together to develop what aspects of a language they would like to learn. Learning English in a group, for example, applied in kindergarten. The teacher wants to learn about part of body, for example. Yeah. So each group, the teacher give a jumble word or a puzzle, yeah. Then they arrange with their group, yeah. And whoever finish first becomes the winner. So work together, yeah. And then the main task of a teacher in this approach is called a counselor. Is to eliminate or at least reduce all negative feelings of the students. A teacher required to have a facilitative attitude, both in imparting his knowledge and in helping students progress from one stage to another. Okay, that's community language learning, or CLL. Next is the last method is CLT, communicative language teaching. What is CLT? Communicative language teaching is an approach to teaching foreign language that emphasizes the concept of interaction, both in the process and in the objective of the learning process. Historically, this community language learning emerged as a response to the audiolingual method, yeah, which was considered inappropriate in language learning. Learners share personal experience with their peers, and instructors teach topic students the traditional field of grammar to improve language skills in variety of situations. This method also demands to encourage students to add their personal experiences to their language learning environment and to focus on learning experiences other than learning the target language. Okay, it's CLT. Okay friends, I think that's all for my explanation about method in language teaching. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this is useful for you. Once again, thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.